Cai um pouquinho aí. Fecha. Abre. Sai. The Marconi International.
Transfer to Titanic. Find ship, fine weather. Arrive Wednesday with special delivery. Love, William.
He mentions the package again. Maybe he really did have something stowed in the cargo hold.
Nothing was listed on the manifest.
A lot of things weren't.
He could have been referring to anything, though. Might have been something special in his suitcase or in the purser's safe.
We can still search the cargo hold as a start.
Yeah, we'll check it out next dive.
Fecha isso aqui.
Right on time.
Hello, team.
Hey, Gillian.
We recovered the message from the Marconi room, but it doesn't really give us any new information.
That's still great news. I daren't have hoped you'd find it. What does it say?
We're sending you through a photo of the message now.
Thank you. Ah, it adds another layer to the story, doesn't it?
He must have thought himself lucky to have been transferred to Titanic.
The coal strike meant many people were upgraded to Titanic.
Such tragedy.
William refers to a delivery in this message, so we're assuming he may have kept something in the cargo hold. We're planning to head down there next dive to check it out. Depending on what it was, there's a chance it survived.
Did you find anything we missed in the cargo manifests?
No, but I've been doing a bit of extra sleuthing. I found out that there was a registered parcel traveling on the Titanic with a Mr. W.J. Henderson's name on it. Is it possible that the gift was traveling as mail and not cargo?
Yeah, that's a possibility. They could have also been two separate packages. The only way to know would be to check both rooms.
The mailroom used to be off limits, but we can access it through a new hole in the cargo hold wall. Our ROV will need another transmitter upgrade to delve that deep, though, and a longer lasting battery. Do you have any idea of the size of the parcel? What's inside it?
No. Could have been anything, really. The registered weight suggests something small, and Mary liked delicate things. Maybe something French? She loved southern France.
Could it have been a religious gift? I read the Hendersons were very involved in their local church.
Yes, definitely. In fact, I'm surprised William's Bible wasn't in the suitcase you recovered. He was known to carry it everywhere.
Maybe he had it with him during the sinking.
Perhaps. There are mixed reports about his final moments, unfortunately. I'm not sure we'll ever find out what really happened.
Well, we'll try our best to find out. Hopefully we can learn more about him from the next dive.
I do hope so. I want to tell my great-grandfather's story accurately in this biography.
We'll speak again tomorrow, after the dive.
Yes, thank you. Talk to you then.
Right. We better get those upgrades for Predator sorted then.
I'll get on it now.
Instalar novo transmissor e nova bateria. Beleza, eu já fiz merda, já tirei um troço que eu tinha que tirar. Pra variar. Vamos lá, né? Aqui não tem nada. Não dá nem pra abrir os outros. Queria abrir os outros, não dá pra abrir. Fica aí dentro. Não tem nada, então vamos lá. Ah, bateria nova. Vai, abaixa um pouco aqui, senão não dá não. Ah, é sim. Aqui já abri?
She's good to go.
Thanks.
Fecha aqui.
Radio check, CCGS Wilson.
Signal is great, Dr. Lynch.
All right.
I'm just marking the cargo hold on your map. You can access it from the number 2 hatch on the forward
Essa é
well
uma coisa
deck.
aqui, pessoal.
I'll make my way to the hatch and deploy Predator.
No principal, Que agora eu vou testar o outro modo. O outro modo vai reviver a evacuação do navio, que não estava afundando. Isso ainda não vi. Aquele ali, experiência. Vamos ver como é que é esse tour. Acho que eu passei pelos destroços do Titanic.
Welcome to the Titanic VR guided tour. We are currently 3.8 kilometres below the surface of the North Atlantic and 100 metres east of the bow. This submersible is on autopilot. However, you can adjust your spotlight using the far left lever. Please keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. I'll provide you with information about locations as we pass them, so please sit back, relax and enjoy the ride.
The RMS Titanic was the second White Star Line Olympic-class ocean liner, the first being RMS Olympic and the third being HMHS Britannic. She was 269 metres long, 28 metres wide and 72 metres tall from the bottom of her keel to the top of her masts. At 46,328 tonnes, she was the largest ship built at the time, being only slightly bigger than Olympic. She would be servicing the transatlantic route, a journey from Southampton, England to New York, USA. She stops at Cherbourg, France and Queenstown, Ireland. After departing Queenstown on the afternoon of Thursday, the 11th of April, RMS Titanic began her 5,360 kilometre journey to New York City. She was due to arrive in the early hours of Wednesday, the 17th of April, but with calm ocean conditions and good weather, it was possible she could arrive early on Tuesday evening instead.
Interessante, tour. Vem pegar pertinho aqui.
The night of the 14th of April was moonless and a light fog was developing on the horizon. Titanic's captain, Edward Smith, had received a number of ice warnings during the day and had changed their course so they were further south to avoid the affected areas. The captain retired to bed and First Officer William Murdoch took charge of the bridge as officer of the watch. Titanic steamed ahead until 11:40 p.m. when the lookouts Frederick Fleet and Reginald Lee spotted an iceberg directly ahead. Fleet rang the warning bell 3 times to indicate an obstacle ahead and phoned the bridge. Murdoch gave the order, hard a starboard, and the ship turned to port, but it was too late. Titanic struck the iceberg on her starboard side. The impact buckled hull plates and sheared rivets, revealing her first 6 compartments to the ocean. As the iceberg slid down the side of the ship, Murdoch ordered a hard port, swinging the Titanic's stern out of the path of the iceberg. He also closed the watertight doors, isolating the flooding to those damaged compartments. The forward 3 hatches, along with the peak tank and boiler rooms 5 and 6 were breached. After the collision, RMS Titanic stopped and almost immediately took a starboard list. The captain organised a group to inspect the damage. and ordered the carpenter John Maxwell to sound the ship. Chief designer Thomas Andrews knew the volume of each breached compartment and calculated that the initial flooding rate was around 15,000 tonnes within the first 40 minutes. With this information, he estimated Titanic would sink within 90 minutes. He then informed the captain, who then ordered the officers to begin preparing the lifeboats. All free seamen were sent up to the boat deck to begin pulling the covers off the lifeboats and to collect lanterns, blankets, food and water for the passengers. Passengers were woken by their stewards and told to put on their life belts and head up to the boat deck.
Parece que eu botei a cabeça no vidro aqui.
Titanic carried just 20 lifeboats, 4 more than required by the regulations outlined by the British Board of Trade. There were 14 regular wooden lifeboats, 2 smaller cutters and 4 Engelhart collapsible boats. The total capacity of these lifeboats was only 1,178 people, far less than the total on board. This fact must have weighed heavily on the captain's mind, as he specified the boats to be filled with women and children first. Just over an hour after the collision, the first lifeboat left the sinking ship. To convince women to leave, officers tried assuring them it was only a precaution, that they would be back on board by daylight. First Officer Murdoch filled the starboard side, while Second Officer Charles Lightoller filled port. The officers interpreted the captain's women and children first order differently, with Murdoch putting men into the boats after all the women and children near the boat had entered. Lightoller, on the other hand, only allowed women and children to enter the boats and refused all men and boys over 14 years old. By 1:45 a.m, Titanic was down by about 5 degrees to the head, with the forecastle almost underwater. Panic began to rise through the passengers still on deck as they watched boat after boat launch. A few male passengers were physically removed from stern portside lifeboats 14 and 16, and 5th Officer Harold Lowe warned other men not to approach by firing his pistol into the water below. The situation at the starboard bow was similar, with a group of men storming collapsible sea. Murdoch fired his pistol twice to warn them to move back from the lifeboat, and they were dragged out by other male passengers. A large group of third-class women and children took their place, along with a few seamen and the owner of White Star Line, Joseph Bruce Ismay. In the radio room, Titanic's Marconi operators were desperately communicating with nearby stations and ships. Throughout the night, senior operator Jack Phillips worked the 5-kilowatt Marconi wireless radio set to send out distress signals using both the old CQD and new SOS call codes. He alerted nearby ships to their position and status, and received updates of ship locations and estimated arrival times. Junior operator Harold Bride took these updates to Captain Smith and passed the captain's responses back to Phillips for transmission. RMS Carpathia radio operator Harold Cotton was off duty and about to go to bed when he decided to listen in to the nightly news from Cape Cod. Operators there mentioned they had ice warnings for Titanic, and Cotton decided to pass on the message. He was surprised when Phillips responded to his call with a CQD and gave Titanic's location. Cotton immediately took the message to Carpathia's captain, Arthur Rostron, who ordered all hands on deck and told Cotton to let Titanic know they were on their way. As the water reached the boat deck, the operators left their station, with Bride heading towards the port bow and Phillips to the starboard stern. Murdoch and 6th Officer James Moody were standing on the starboard side, loading collapsible A into the davits. Lightoller was on the officers' quarters rooftop, removing collapsible B, when the bridge suddenly ducked under the surface. Waves washed over the decks, carrying people and the collapsible lifeboats into the ocean. The forward funnel collapsed at its base, with the resulting wave crushing the starboard bridge wing and those swimming in the water nearby. The stern rose out of the water, peaking at an angle of around 15 degrees. This placed stress on Titanic's keel, which buckled and twisted, tearing the ship in half and sending the waterlogged bow plummeting to the ocean floor. The tear wasn't clean, with decks failing to hold on at varying positions. The stern, now rapidly filling with water, bobbed on the surface for a few minutes before slipping under. RMS Titanic was carrying an estimated 2,208 passengers and crew, with only 712 surviving the disaster. Those who survived spent the night floating in darkness until RMS Carpathia arrived around 4 a.m. Captain Rostrom had pushed the Connard liner to break her speed record, but it wasn't enough. Titanic had sunk before Carpathia arrived, and they found 20 lifeboats at Titanic's location. Unfortunately, the exact number of victims is unknown, as there were many last-minute ticket purchases and cancellations, and that documentation was lost along with the ship. Of the 1,317 known passengers, over half were travelling third class, or steerage as it was known. These passengers couldn't access the boat deck without entering second class or crew areas, meaning many were unaware how to get to the lifeboats and escape the sinking ship. First and second class passengers had no issues making their way to the boat deck, as staircases provided both classes direct access. Many expeditions to find and raise the wreck were proposed over the years, with the exact location of her wreck being unknown. Titanic's coordinates sent out in distress on the night of the accident had been incorrect. On the 1st of September 1985, a Canadian-French team were searching the area when Dr. Robert Ballard came across some small debris. He followed the trail, which led him to a boiler and eventually the wreck. His discovery confirms suspicions that Titanic had in fact split, and there was no hope of raising the wreck as a whole. Scientists and historians have long argued for and against the recovery of artefacts from the site, with many agreeing the site should be treated as a mass grave. Although it's predicted Titanic's wreck will disintegrate within the next 20 years, her story will intrigue generations to come.
Essa aqui foi tour mais curto, dos modos do jogo. Uma e 10 da manhã.
Women and children! This way! Women and children!
Head for that ship on the horizon. Transfer your passengers and tell their captain to come at once. We require urgent assistance.
Surely they can see our rockets, sir.
If they can, they are not responding. As quickly as you can.
Aye, aye, sir.
Quickly now! Women and children! Quickly! The boats are leaving!
Daddy, where are we going?
Shh, love, we're going on a little adventure. We'll be back soon.
Over here. Let's try this one.
I'm afraid it's women and children only, sir.
Please, sir, can't you see my wife needs help with the children?
Sorry, sir. Captain's orders.
What's the meaning of this? Is this a drill?
Only a precaution, sir. Everyone will be back aboard in good time.
John, I can't manage without you. I need you.
We'll just have to for now.
But...
Don't worry, Marie. I'll get on another boat. You go ahead with the children.
Daddy, I don't want to go without you.
John, I don't see any men boarding lifeboats.
I'm sure there's other boats further down letting men board. Right, David, help your mother and sister board.
Yes, Dad.
I'm sorry, sir. Women and children only.
For God's sake, he's just a boy.
What age is he?
He's only 16.
He'll have to stay on board with the other men.
God's sake.
Something, John.
Is there nothing you can do? My wife can't manage alone.
I'm afraid not, sir. Captain's orders.
Hey, the officers are letting the boys leave on the other side. You must hurry.
Thanks, friend. Marie, take the baby. Look after Emily. We'll get on another boat. Emily, Daddy loves you very much. Be good for your mother and sister. We'll see you again soon.
Daddy, don't go. You have to come with us. We won't be able to find you.
Shush now, love. You're going on the boat with your mum and your sister. We'll be along shortly, I promise.
Daddy, I don't want to go.
Women and children.
Go straight to the next boat. Do what you must to get aboard. Do you understand?
I will, ma'am, I will. Don't worry.
Mind him, John.
Right, Emily. Time to go. Be brave.
No!
Here,
no,
let me go.
Daddy,
Emily,
please.
go. You have to go with your mother.
With you.
Go.
Please let me go with
No.
you. Dad,
We'll be all right.
Please.
Be good, child. We'll see you soon.
We'll head straight for another boat.
Women and children. Final call.
Right. It's time to go.
No!
She must be terrified.
Oh, the poor thing.
No.
Ready the ropes.
Bye. Bye, Emily. Bye, Marie.
Away.
Daddy!
There, sweetheart. They'll be fine.
Thank you.
My daughter was the same growing up. Father's favorite.
Do you believe there's any real danger?
Oh no, dear. I saw men locking the watertight doors as I left my cabin. I'm sure we will be back on board soon.
Hey, how do we get to the lifeboats? Hey, how do we get to the lifeboats?
Oh dear.
Do the steerage have their own boats?
I don't know. There should be boats in the third-class decks, but I haven't seen any.
Surely there must be extra boats kept elsewhere. Otherwise, how can all the passengers leave the ship?
How's your ankle, Helen? You took quite a tumble boarding the boat.
Swollen. I think it may be broken.
Oh dear. When we get back on board, Dr. Lockham can look over it. At least this could make an interesting story for your next novel.
Yes, well, perhaps this type of adventure novel would best suit Colonel Gracie.
Oh, I do hope Father is safe. Surely he'd be safer on board the Titanic than here in this boat. Yes, well, this is not quite the ending to our adventure that I was expecting. Do you remember Father's face when we...
Steady forward and lower away astern.
Steady forward. Lower together, men.
Hold off! I can't manage this boat with only one seaman.
Are there any sailors aboard? Present yourselves. This boat needs another hand. I am a yachtsman, sir. I can row. If you're seaman enough to get onto that boat, you can go. Swing over that loose rope.
Ready?
Oh my goodness.
There, by the oarlock.
Thank you.
Ready! Lower away!
Lower together.
It's so dreadfully cold tonight.
Almost there, Mother.
How long must we sit in these boats?
Till morning. Be glad you're in here and not up there.
I wasn't an unpleasant man.
Mass was lovely this morning.
How nice the captain attended.
Yes, this is his last journey commanding a ship.
Such a beautiful ship to retire with.
There was a planned lifeboat drill this morning. They postponed it so the captain could attend mass instead.
Oh, perhaps that explains why the sailors on the deck seemed almost unprepared when lowering this lifeboat.
And why our lifeboat has only 3 sailors.
Yes, this whole affair has been managed rather badly. I shall be making a complaint when we come aboard Titanic.
Help! I'm trapped! Help! Help!
Mommy, I'm scared.
Shh, it'll be fine.
Get ready to release the ropes.
Aye, aye, sir.
There's water coming in!
Get that plug in! The boat will founder.
I have it.
You there! Stand on that plug. Make sure it doesn't come out.
Well, I never...
Man the oars! We need to leave this ship. Her suction will pull us under. Pull! Hurry, damn you!
Where are we heading? Towards the lights on the horizon, just off the port bow.
Pull! Put your backs into it!
We can help row.
No! The men will row.
I can steer the rudder, so you can row?
No, you will not. Sit down.
Look, child. Look what I have here. He's friendly. He won't bite. Would you like to hold him? He's so soft. Can you look after him for me while we're on this boat?
Yes, Mum.
I should have stayed on deck with Quig.
No, it was good of you to join us in the boat.
Quig wouldn't have allowed you to stay on deck.
I'm sure we will be back on deck shortly. Never mind that sailor.
And what if there is real danger?
There can't be. The captain said so himself. This is just a precaution.
This fog on the horizon, and no moonlight.
Yes, it's hard to see anything tonight.
I doubt the other ship will even see us approach.
Ma'am, can you hold this, please?
Ah, much better. Thank you.
Let's hope they see us.
It looks like some boats don't have their lanterns lit.
And all the stars. The sky is beautiful tonight.
Look at them all around. Are there any supplies in this boat?
There's nothing. No water, no bread, no compass.
Any blankets?
I don't see any.
There are a few here.
Yes, some here too.
A stowaway!
Oh, officer. Officer, look!
Sorry. So sorry. I can't swim.
Coward! Get over there and start rowing.
I can't. I broke my arm. That's why I can't swim. Please, sir, let me stay. I'm begging you. I don't stand a chance up there.
Sit down then. You're lucky I haven't thrown you overboard.
Here you are.
Thank you. Here you are, madame.
Thank you, Bert.
Thank you. It must be below freezing.
Thanks.
Best we keep that baby warm.
Thank you. Are you warm enough, Emily?
Yes, Mum.
Such a precious child. They are always so beautiful at that age. Do you have children yourself? Yes, my daughter is at our home in New York.
I wonder if the others made it to the boats.
I hope they did. The boats must be all in the water by now.
Do you have family on board?
No. Our colleagues in the a la carte restaurant.
We were allowed to go up to the boats, but the men are being held in the second-class dining hall.
Oh, that's dreadful. Why aren't they allowed up to the boats?
They have to wait until all the passengers have left the ship.
But I did see Mr. Morget on deck, and the head chef, so they might have been let up early.
Oh, I hope so. The ship is listing quite badly now.
The lights don't seem to be getting closer.
Perhaps they're just reflections on the water.
No, they're definitely lights from another ship. We were signaling them earlier.
They look like stars to me.
Keep rowing towards the lights. Captain's orders.
You should assist us rowing. Allow one of the women to steer the boat. It's a perfectly calm night.
You row, sir. I will remain in command of this boat.
The women should be allowed to row.
No!
Rowing will keep us warm and we'll reach that ship in half the time.
I agree. The movement will warm us.
I am in charge of this boat. The women are not to row.
Oh my. Look at the angle of our ship.
But it's unsinkable. Surely?
She'll sink.
But the watertight doors should keep her afloat.
We only glanced the iceberg. Surely she isn't that damaged?
She'll founder. It's just a matter of time.
What about those not in lifeboats?
Only a small touch. Deliver us from evil. We must go back.
No, if we go back, they will swamp the boat.
People are dying. Can you not hear them?
It's our lives now, not theirs.
You cannot leave them. Please go back.
There's nothing there but a lot of stiffs.
People are still alive.
We aren't going back. That's final.
I hope you will be able to live with yourself after this.
What about Daddy?
Bom, pessoal, vou encerrando por aqui. Meio surreal isso aqui. Apesar de ser uma animação, mas é bem feito. A ambientação é bacana. Bom, pessoal, valeu a todos. Vou encerrando por hoje essa live aqui. E até a próxima. Fique com Deus. Fui!